You're being talked about everywhere but you don't know it yet. My beloved, stop right now. Take a deep breath. And listen. There is something hidden, something sacred that the universe has been whispering just for you. For too long, it has remained unseen, quietly shaping the path beneath your feet, guiding your steps toward a destiny that only your soul recognizes. And today, in this exact moment, it wants to reveal itself. You may not realize it yet, but you're being talked about everywhere but you don't know it yet. The energy of your presence, your actions, your very existence is resonating far beyond what your eyes can see. Invisible threads of admiration, curiosity, and destiny are weaving around you, drawing unseen attention. Those who sense your light are speaking of you in hushed tones, inspired by something only they can feel, but soon, the veil will lift, and you will understand why the universe has kept this hidden from plain sight until now. There is a sacred timing at play. Every struggle, every silent prayer, every night spent in doubt has been part of a divine choreography, moving you closer to a revelation that will feel like the universe itself is speaking directly into your heart. This is not coincidence. This is not luck. This is the hidden hand of destiny aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities to awaken the truth of your calling. You have carried a quiet power, a magnetic force that even you have yet to fully recognize. And the world, your world, is noticing. Not in loud proclamations, not in obvious signals, but in subtle, meaningful ways that will soon converge into clarity. You are about to step into a space where what has been hidden is illuminated, where your presence is acknowledged, and where your purpose becomes undeniably visible, not just to others, but to your own awakened spirit. Feel it now, a wave of hope, a divine certainty that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. The hidden whispers, the silent admirers, the unnoticed blessings, they are all part of a cosmic message that is ready for you to receive. The universe is telling you that the best is not only ahead, it is unfolding precisely in alignment with your soul's deepest intentions. So hold this revelation close. Allow your heart to open and your spirit to rise. Something extraordinary is emerging, and you are at the center of it. Watch closely, listen deeply, and know that this moment is sacred. If you stay with me through this video, I will guide you to uncover every hidden truth the universe has been preparing for you. By the end, you will feel clarity, empowerment, and a renewed sense of purpose that will transform the way you see yourself and your destiny. So like this video, share this message with those who need to hear it, subscribe to stay connected to the divine flow, and watch completely, because your hidden revelation is ready to be unveiled. The universe has been waiting to speak to you and now it has. Listen closely, my child, because what I am about to reveal is not meant to frighten you, nor is it meant to inflate you with pride. It is meant to awaken you. There are conversations happening that your ears cannot hear yet, movements forming that your eyes have not been allowed to see, and shifts taking place that do not announce themselves with noise. I see all of it. I always have. While you have been quietly enduring, learning, and growing in places where no applause followed you, I have been weaving your name into rooms you have never entered. Not because you chased recognition, but because obedience leaves a sound in the spirit long before it leaves a mark in the world. You think you have been unnoticed. You believe your silence meant invisibility. But I tell you now, silence is not absence. Silence is often where I do my deepest work. When you cried without an audience, when you chose integrity over convenience, when you stood back while others pushed forward, I was recording it all. And those unseen moments created a ripple. People are sensing something about you before they understand it. They mention you casually. They wonder quietly. They feel a pull they cannot explain. This is not because of your perfection, but because I placed my breath on your journey. There are doors discussing whether they should open. There are paths debating how soon they should reveal themselves. There are hearts wrestling with why your presence lingers in their thoughts. You have not manipulated this. You have not demanded it. That is why it is pure. When something is born from striving, it carries exhaustion. When something is born from surrender, it carries authority. And you surrendered in ways you don't even realize yet. Do not misunderstand me. This is not about popularity, and it is not about being placed above others. It is about alignment. When you align with truth, truth announces you without your permission. When you walk in sincerity, sincerity defends you in rooms you never enter. When you choose patience, patience speaks on your behalf to time itself. And time listens to me. You have felt the delay. You have questioned the quiet. You have wondered if you missed something, if you were supposed to move sooner, speak louder, prove more. But I held you back on purpose. There were things you needed to survive before you could be seen. There were perspectives you needed to gain before you could be trusted. Exposure without preparation is not favor, it is pressure. And I do not expose my children to pressure they are not ready to carry. Even now, you are still being shaped. Still being refined. Still learning the difference between noise and meaning. That is why I have not revealed everything to you yet. Mystery protects momentum. If I showed you every conversation happening about you, you would rush ahead of my timing. If I let you hear every door preparing to open, you would try to force them. And I need you steady, not hurried. I need you grounded, not anxious, some people speak your name with curiosity, some with admiration, some with confusion, and yes, some with resistance. That is unavoidable when light grows brighter. But understand this clearly, not every mention of you requires a response from you. I am teaching you restraint. Power is not proven by reacting, it is proven by remaining centered while I handle what you cannot see. There are places you will walk into one day where they will greet you as if they already know you. You will feel the familiarity before you understand it. And later, you will realize that long before you arrived, your consistency had already introduced you. This is how I work. I send the essence before the presence. I prepare the ground before the seed breaks the surface. You have been protected from knowing too much too soon. Knowledge out of season can become a burden. That is why I have allowed you to feel overlooked at times. That feeling kept you humble. It kept you teachable. It kept you listening instead of performing. And because of that, when the moment comes for you to be seen, you will not lose yourself to it. Do not fear the whispers. Do not chase the confirmation. Stay where you are until I tell you to move. The same voice that called you into stillness will call you into motion. And when that happens, it will feel natural, not forced. It will feel quiet, not chaotic. It will feel right, not rushed. I know you have asked me in secret if you matter. If your efforts counted. If your sacrifices were noticed. Let me answer you now without hesitation. Nothing you gave in sincerity was wasted. Nothing you endured with grace was ignored. Nothing you chose in love disappeared. Everything is accounted for. Even the moments you thought were meaningless were shaping your capacity to carry what is coming. What is coming does not need to be announced yet. Anticipation grows best in the dark. Seeds do not break soil by being exposed, they break through by being rooted. And you, my child, are deeply rooted now. Stronger than you realize. Steadier than you feel. Closer than you think, so remain present. Remain faithful in small things. Remain gentle with yourself. You do not need to change your pace to match anyone else's expectations. I am not late. I am not confused. I am not reconsidering you. I am arranging details you are not meant to manage, and while you continue living your ordinary days, loving in quiet ways, choosing truth when no one is watching, understand this: the atmosphere is shifting around your obedience. Conversations are aligning. Paths are clearing. Timing is tightening. You are being positioned without being pressured. There will come a moment when you realize the silence was not empty. It was full. Full of preparation. full of protection, full of purpose. And when that realization settles in your spirit, you will understand why I asked you to trust me when nothing made sense. For now, keep walking. Keep listening. Keep your heart open and your hands clean. Let me finish what I started. Let me speak where you are tempted to explain. Let me move where you are tempted to rush, because what you don't see yet is that even now, even today, even in this very moment, your name is being carried into places you have not imagined, and the story is only just beginning, and soon you will notice the shift when familiar doors feel different, when conversations pause as you enter. When opportunities seem to recognize you before you recognize them, and when you finally realize that the waiting was not punishment but preparation, and that every unseen step led you here, and that what I am about to do next requires your full attention, because from this point forward, nothing will unfold the same way again, and I need you ready. I need you listening. I need you steady as I begin to reveal the next layer of what has been forming all along, because what is approaching will test your faith in new ways, stretch your understanding, and invite you into spaces where your voice will matter more than you expect. And before I allow that door to open, there is one more thing you must understand. One more truth you must carry, one more shift that must take place within you, and that is where I will speak to you next, when you are ready, because this message is not finished, and neither is the work I am doing in you, and the next words I speak will change how you see everything you thought you knew about yourself, about timing, about purpose, and about the reason you were chosen to walk this path. Because what comes next depends on whether you can trust me even when the answers remain just beyond your reach, and that is why I am pausing here, right before the next revelation, right before the next unveiling, right before the moment when you realize that the reason you didn't know you were being talked about everywhere is because I was protecting you until the exact moment when knowing would no longer distract you from becoming who you were always meant to be. And now that moment is drawing closer, and closer, and closer, and as it approaches, I ask you to take a breath, steady your heart, and prepare yourself for what I am about to say next, because it will require you to let go of the last version of yourself that still doubts, still hesitates, still wonders if you are enough, and when I speak again, you will understand why everything had to unfold exactly this way, and why the next step cannot be rushed, because it is the step where you finally realize that you were never behind, never forgotten, never overlooked, and that the conversations you couldn't hear were never about elevating you above others, but about aligning you with the place where you will serve, grow, and shine in ways you cannot yet fully comprehend, and that is why I am asking you now to stay with me, to remain open, because the next part of this message will begin where this one pauses, and when it does, nothing inside you will remain the same, because what I am about to reveal next is the reason all of this had to happen, and it begins with the truth that you are only just now ready to hear. The truth you are now ready to hear is this: I was never shaping you for visibility alone. I was shaping you for responsibility. And responsibility requires depth. It requires discernment. It requires the kind of inner stillness that does not panic when attention arrives. That is why I allowed seasons where you felt small. Seasons where you questioned your relevance, seasons where you learned how to listen more than you spoke. Those seasons were not delays, they were classrooms. And you passed lessons you didn't even know you were taking. You see, many desire to be seen, but few are prepared to be understood. Being seen without being understood creates isolation. Being heard without wisdom creates confusion. I was protecting you from both. I was teaching you how to remain whole while unseen, so that when understanding begins to surround you, you will not fragment under its weight. You will recognize it as familiar, not overwhelming. There are people who sense that something about you is different. But they cannot name it yet. They feel it in how you respond, how you pause before speaking, how you carry peace even when circumstances shift. That presence is not accidental. It is the residue of time spent learning trust. It is the echo of conversations you had with me when no one else was listening. Those conversations shaped your discernment. They sharpened your awareness. They taught you the value of timing. Timing is sacred to me. I do not rush what must be rooted. I do not reveal what is still forming. You have been asking why things feel so close yet still just out of reach. It is because you are standing at the threshold between preparation and participation. Thresholds are quiet places. They do not announce themselves with clarity. They test patience more than ability. And you are doing better than you think. Some of the people talking about you now will not walk with you later. Others will walk with you further than you expect. You do not need to sort them out. That is my role. Your role is to remain honest, grounded, and open. I will filter what cannot follow you. I will strengthen what is meant to stay. Trust me with the sorting. I know there are moments when you replay past choices, wondering if different decisions would have brought you here sooner. Release that thought. The path you walked taught you exactly what you needed to know. Even the detours trained your discernment. Even the pauses refined your patience. Nothing you lived through was random. I do not waste experiences. I redeem them. As attention begins to turn in your direction, remember who you were when no one was watching. Anchor yourself there. That version of you carries the truth. That version knows how to listen. That version is not impressed by noise. Hold on to that humility. It will keep you steady when things begin to shift more quickly. You will soon notice subtle changes. Invitations will feel different. Conversations will carry more weight. Decisions will require deeper listening. Do not fear this. Growth always asks more of you than comfort ever did. And you are ready to give more because you have learned how to draw strength from me instead of from approval. Let me speak clearly now. You do not need to announce your arrival. You do not need to explain your calling. What is aligned will recognize you. What is not aligned will fall away without confrontation. Peace will be your confirmation. Resistance will not be your responsibility. I am teaching you to move without force. There will be moments ahead when you are tempted to doubt again. That does not mean you are failing. It means you are stretching. Faith does not remove questions, it teaches you where to place them. Bring them to me, not to fear. Bring them to stillness, not to noise. I will answer you in ways that keep you grounded. You are stepping into a phase where discernment matters more than effort. You cannot say yes to everything. You cannot carry every expectation. This is why I trained you in silence. Silence taught you how to hear me clearly when many voices speak at once. And many voices will speak, some will project their hopes onto you. Some will project their fears. Neither defines you. Stay anchored in truth. Stay curious, not defensive. Stay open, not reactive. The way you respond will teach others more than your words ever could. I am not elevating you to impress others. I am positioning you to serve with clarity. Influence is not about being above, it is about being available in the right moments with the right heart. And you are learning how to be present without being consumed. You may feel a growing sense of anticipation without knowing why. That is your spirit recognizing alignment before your mind catches up. Do not rush to label it. Sit with it. Let it mature. Anticipation is a signal, not a command. Wait for my instruction. Remember this. When things begin to move, they will move quickly, but not chaotically. You will not need to abandon yourself to keep up. The pace will match your preparation. That is how you will know it is me. I am asking you now to release the need to prove anything. Proof creates pressure. Presence creates trust. You do not need to convince others of your value. Value is recognized, not argued. Stay rooted in who you are becoming. Not who you used to be. There will be moments when you feel the weight of expectation increase. When that happens, return to stillness. Return to breath. Return to me. I am not adding pressure to you, I am expanding your capacity. Expansion can feel like strain before it feels like strength. You are not alone in this process. Even when it feels solitary, you are being supported in ways you cannot yet perceive. Support does not always look like company. Sometimes it looks like clarity. Sometimes it looks like protection. Sometimes it looks like closed doors that saved you from paths that would have distracted you. Trust the doors that remain closed. Trust the ones that open quietly. Loud openings are not always lasting ones. I prefer foundations over fireworks. As your awareness grows, so will your responsibility to remain kind. Do not let discernment turn into distance. Do not let wisdom turn into walls. You are being shaped to hold both truth and compassion. Balance them carefully. There are still things I have not told you because they require a certain steadiness of heart. You are almost there. I see the way you pause now instead of reacting. I see the way you listen more deeply. I see the way you choose understanding over assumption. These are signs of readiness. Soon, clarity will arrive in layers, not all at once. Each layer will invite you to trust me a little more. Each step will require you to let go of an old narrative about yourself. Let them go gently. You do not need to reject your past to step into your future. Honor it, then release it. I want you to understand something important before we go further. Being talked about is not the goal. Being aligned is. Attention fades. Alignment endures. I am aligning you with people, places, and purposes that will challenge you to grow, not just affirm you as you are. When the moment comes for you to step forward, you will recognize it not by excitement alone, but by peace beneath the excitement. There will be a calm confidence that does not need reassurance. That calm will be my confirmation. Until then, remain where you are, fully present. Do not disengage from your life while waiting for what's next. Live fully now. Joy is not a reward for arrival, it is fuel for the journey. Let yourself experience it. You are closer than you think, but closeness does not mean immediacy. There is a final refinement happening within you, subtle but necessary. It involves how you see yourself when no one is affirming you. It involves trusting your inner knowing without becoming rigid. It involves allowing yourself to be both strong and teachable. This refinement cannot be rushed. It is happening even now as you read these words. You are absorbing more than you realize. Something within you is settling, aligning, preparing, and because this next part is delicate, because it touches the core of who you believe yourself to be, I will not rush into it. What I am about to reveal next will require space to receive, room to breathe, and willingness to release a final layer of doubt you have carried quietly. So for now, remain open. Remain still. Remain curious rather than anxious. Do not try to figure out the ending. You are not meant to see it yet. I am not finished speaking. This message is still unfolding, just as you are. And when I speak again, it will be to reveal the reason your name has been moving through places you have never been, and why the next step will require you to trust me in a deeper way than ever before. Because what comes next is not about being noticed, but about being entrusted, and that truth deserves its own moment, its own stillness, its own space to be received, and that is where I will continue when you are ready for me to speak again. Now hear me carefully, for this is where the meaning settles, and where the mystery becomes wisdom. You have wondered why your heart feels heavier and lighter at the same time. Why there is a quiet seriousness growing in you, paired with a peace you did not have before. This is not confusion. This is maturity. This is the awareness that what is coming is not a performance, but a stewardship. And stewardship changes how you see everything. I am not calling you into something flashy. I am calling you into something lasting. What I place in your hands will require discernment more than excitement, consistency more than intensity, faithfulness more than speed. That is why I taught you how to endure before I allowed you to influence. Endurance builds integrity, and integrity is what sustains purpose when novelty fades. You must understand this. Many will misunderstand you, even as opportunities open. Do not let that trouble you. Being understood by everyone is not the measure of alignment. Being faithful to truth is. There will be moments when you feel the tension between who people think you are and who you are becoming. Choose truth gently, not defensively. Time will clarify what explanations never could. I have been teaching you to release control because what is ahead cannot be managed the way you managed your past. You will need to respond, not dominate, listen, not assume, remain flexible without losing your foundation. This is a higher level of trust, and you are stepping into it now. You will notice that you no longer crave validation the way you once did. That is not because you no longer care, it is because you are learning where care belongs. Approval shifts. Truth remains. I am anchoring you in what remains. Let me speak to the fear you rarely admit, the fear of stepping forward and discovering that you are not enough. I tell you now, clearly and gently, you were never meant to be enough on your own. You were meant to stay connected. Dependence on me is not weakness, it is wisdom. When you move from connection instead of self-reliance, you will find strength that does not exhaust you. What you carry will impact others, not because you are perfect, but because you are real. Authenticity creates safety. Safety creates growth. Growth creates change. This is the pattern I am inviting you into. You will not always feel confident. Confidence is not required. Willingness is. Courage is not the absence of uncertainty, it is the choice to move with integrity despite it. And you have already proven that you can do this in small ways. The larger ways are coming. Be mindful of comparison as visibility increases. Comparison distorts purpose. You are not meant to replicate someone else's path or compete with their progress. Your assignment is specific. Your pace is intentional. Stay in your lane. It was designed to fit you. I want you to remember the quiet promises you made to yourself when you were struggling, the promises to stay kind, to stay honest, to stay grounded. Do not abandon those promises now that things are shifting. They are part of your foundation. There will be moments when you feel stretched between old comfort and new calling. Let the stretch happen. Growth requires space. Do not rush to fill it with noise or certainty. Let it expand you. I am preparing you to recognize alignment not by how impressive something looks, but by how peaceful it feels. Peace does not mean ease, it means coherence. When your inner world and outer actions agree, you are aligned. You may still experience days of doubt. Do not shame yourself for them. Doubt handled with honesty can deepen faith. Bring it to me. Let it soften you, not harden you. As your awareness increases, guard your inner life. What you allow to shape your thoughts will shape your direction. Choose what nourishes clarity. Release what feeds fear. You are learning discernment not to isolate yourself, but to remain whole. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. I need you to hear this fully, because the next season will require you to stand on this truth when external reassurance is inconsistent. The conversations about you will continue, but they will matter less to you than they once might have. That is how you will know you are ready. When you are no longer driven by who is watching, you are free to serve without distortion. I am inviting you into a life that is meaningful, not merely impressive. Meaning requires presence. Presence requires courage. Courage grows through trust. And trust grows through relationship, so keep choosing honesty over image. Keep choosing depth over speed. Keep choosing connection over control. These choices are shaping your future more than any opportunity ever could. You will be given chances to step forward, but you will also be given chances to step back. Both are acts of wisdom when done in alignment. Do not confuse restraint with fear. Sometimes the strongest move is waiting. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. Your thoughtfulness is not weakness. Your awareness is not overthinking. These are tools. Learn how to use them without letting them overwhelm you. I am with you in this. Not watching from a distance, not waiting for you to get it right, but walking with you as you learn. I do not expect perfection. I invite presence, and now, as this message comes to its close, let this truth settle gently into your heart. You do not need to become someone else to fulfill what I have placed within you. You need only to remain open, honest, and willing to grow. What is ahead will unfold step by step, moment by moment. You will not miss it by being human. You will not lose it by asking questions. You will recognize it because it will call forth the best of who you already are becoming. So breathe. Stay grounded. Lie fully where you are. Trust the process that has carried you this far. I am not finished with you, but for now, this is enough. Amen.